Hey, what's poppin', sexies? It's your boy here. We back. We got some more fake content for you. Now today, I got the main man, Oblivion, on the hook. What's up, Oblivion?
Hey, Tacho, how's it going, man? Excited to be here. Excited to talk about this really big deal with these new heroes we got this year.
Yeah, so what we're going to be doing today is a little fake-ass podcast, Tacho Talks, whatever you want to call these, a discussion on the new Attuned heroes that we got. Now, before we even begin, I just want to point your attention to YouTube for a sec. So, I have this app on YouTube that puts the dislike bar back, so I can see how the likes and dislikes are doing on videos. And on this trailer that they revealed the Attuned heroes on, they got ratioed really bad. Like, the dislikes were over... It was like almost 50% dislikes on this one, and I can't recall a time that it was like that in a long time. I can't recall like the last trailer that got ratioed that bad. Like the one that stands out was Legendary Lyn, but that was years and years ago, right? So like this is the first big one in recent memory that they really just dropped it on. So
I think,
yeah, go ahead.
I think Fae Pass when they introduced that was like ratioed pretty hard.
Okay, yeah, that was a little more recent than Legendary Lyn, so I guess I can see that. Okay, so it seems like the community is up in arms over Attuned heroes. I don't think anyone is too satisfied with this. So what is your take so far on just the way that Attuned heroes were handled? What do you think about that?
So when I did my video, I actually recorded it 3 times. I recorded like normally where I just do the reaction, right, and kind of do some analysis, and I threw that away. And I tried to record another video where I was trying to be a little bit like more positive, and I threw that one away too. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna get my honest feelings. So I put that one out there. And honestly, from there, I was kind of like mid on them there. Now I just hate them. I don't like them at all. I think they're just really badly implemented, and I don't think they understood what was so good about rearmed heroes and why everybody loved them so much. And they kind of just went for like, felt like a cash grab, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, okay, so obviously the Attuned heroes act in the same way as rearmed heroes because you can basically use them as a fodder bank to like give out skills to your other guys, pretty much. That's good. I'm not going to say that's a bad thing, because obviously the rearmed heroes, that was what made them good. Now, the problem for me was that there's just nothing interesting about them. They're just rearmed heroes again with one extra skill. So when I did the data mine video, I was looking at the rearmed hero. Like, we didn't know what they were going to be at the time, so there was so much speculation, so much like fan theories on what the new kind of hero was going to be. A lot of people threw out that it would be like a pair-up hero where you could swap to and fro like Peony and Triandra. Like they would be
so cool.
Like a literal duo unit that can swap between 2 different weapon types, movement types, things like that. That would have been hella fire if they did that.
Yes.
Because like that would have left so much room for design space in the future. They could have did like some crazy combos. Like imagine a cav unit that could swap into an armored unit. Like that, like just get the 3 movement, and then you player phase with your cav, and then you just swap in for the enemy phase into your armored unit, and you're good to go. Like that would have been really, really cool. I think
that would have been a game changer, like literally.
Yeah, but it would have been a fun concept, though.
Yeah, no, definitely, no, yeah. I think that would have been like insane. Like it would have opened up the game to like a completely different level.
Exactly. So. Like, I was getting all caught up and all hyped up on these fan theories. I had a few of my own, and lo and behold, what do we get? Just rearmed heroes 2.0. So very disappointing to me. I was just like, all the wind in my sails were just taken out there. It's like, okay, obviously they're just going to keep doing rearmed heroes, but now they're going to do Attuned heroes, and I guess this is a good way for us to segue into the unique thing about the Attuned heroes, which is the echo skills. So what are your thoughts on the echo skills right now? How do you feel about the way they introduced that?
I think they're like very meh. Like they're not great. Like I was talking to Joel and DTM about this a lot before it came out, and we kind of made a list of like what kind of skills they could implement. And at the bottom of the list, like right above the worst option, this was here. Our worst option was that like they released unique kind of skill where it's super broken and anyone can equip it, and like you just have to summon for these heroes immediately, right? That's the worst option, because then like it's just complete, like everybody has to summon for them. This was right above it, because like these skills really don't do much. Let's be real. Like +4 attack is like not terrible, but it's not great. And then the Oath is only like really insane on like I think Citrine, but like that's just Citrine. That's just Citrine being good, right? Like that's less the skill and more of Citrine just being awesome.
Yeah.
And so like the thing too is like they're only usable on units without preference skills. So then you come to this like place where you're like, okay, well who's really using these? Like it's kind of a select amount of heroes, like maybe, you know, like Tamara or Citrine or like some of the other units who are, or Lucia, like units who are good but don't have preference skills, then sure. Or you just put it on your favorites. But it just kind of feels like they aren't effective enough where they're like interesting or like meta developing in any way. But they also are like, they're also put into a way where like they open up a gateway for IS to do scummy things later. And so I just don't like them at all.
Yeah, okay, so let's see here. They started off with Death Blow Echo and Attack Oath Echo. So,
right,
not really two super important skills to have. I mean, the blue bonus to attack up 6 from Attack Oath Echo is like easy enough to get from elsewhere. Like, just blue bonus to attack up 6. The warping is pretty nice. But we're in a meta right now where everyone's running either Catria or Cordelia or Guidance 4 or Soaring Guidance somewhere. So it's like kind of a moot point that you just get the guidance from that. So that, I think, isn't really the best. At least the two that we have right now, they're not like insane or anything like that. Obviously, in the future, they're going to start pumping up the power creep on these, and they're going to get better and better.
Exactly.
But as of right now, I think you're not really missing out on much if you decide to skip these. Now, where they really shot themselves in the foot was how they limited them. So characters cannot equip preference skills while they have echo skills equipped.
Right.
Because obviously Bayork's Blessing on Brave Ike was OP as hell, right? So we can't give him echo skills.
Or Radiant Ether.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
I mean?
Like Legendary Ike with Radiant Ether. Yeah, that's way too good. Hold up, guys. Let's not give him echo skills. He's too strong. So I don't understand, like, what was the thought process behind limiting it in the way that they did? I guess they wanted to leave some room open to give it to new characters instead of just, like, super old characters. But that's only going to make the new characters better and better and, like, open up even more of a gap between them and the old stuff. So, for example, you brought up Citrine as a good choice for Oath Echo. I think also Tamara could be pretty good because she already gives herself speed and defense up 6 on her weapon. So now you just add attack in there and you get the warp. And because like she's got a bona fide C skill, she's running Times Pulse 4 and you don't really want to change that. It's nice to be able to get the jumping there. So like on select units, I think it's pretty good. Except a lot of those units are recent releases. You brought up Citrine. I brought up Tamara. There's a lot of other ones too. So, I don't know, man. I think they really mishandled the way that these echo skills were introduced here. And I don't know if I am okay with this, to be honest.
Same. I've literally been just mad about this since it was released. Like, I'm actually just like, it tilted me. Because the thing is, too, is like, you can't even give the Attuned skill to like another hero to duplicate. It has to be from that unit.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't even like, oh, it's like so bad. Like, it just makes it more restrictions. And it makes it so that you have to summon those units if you want that skill. Now, right now, I don't think they're like you were saying, they're not that big of a deal. You really don't need to summon. Even I, as a whale, did not summon for these skills at all. I completely skipped this banner. So I don't think they're needed at all. But in the future, they could easily become more powerful, especially when you start to think about speed, right? Speed power creep is insane already. Now imagine if you have a whole new skill that gives +6 speed on it, like a Darting Blow 3 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's, I think they just they didn't understand why Rearmed Heroes were so good. I think they just saw it and they were like, okay, we can do this again and make more money. And they didn't really understand But
that's pretty much the thought process. Is like, okay, let's make Rearmed Heroes again, except let's also make them more like pay heavy, so we get more money back.
Oh yeah. The thing about Rearmed Heroes that people don't, I think you don't get is like, or not you, but like they don't get is that there's two aspects to it. For free to plays, they get a chance to get arcane weapons that can upgrade their favorites, right, and make their favorites usable again.
Yeah.
Everybody loves that. And then for whales, or even like middle spenders, or people who just want to invest orbs into it, you can duplicate skills, right? So you can get like full kits for your units.
Yep.
And so in that way, there's 2 ways you're winning. Like it feels really good.
Yeah.
With this one, it's like you still have the duplicating skill stuff, but now all you did was kind of put a tax on free-to-play players. Like, hey, you want your favorite, you want Camilla from year 1 to be complete. You need to get her an echo skill now, right? And
yeah.
It's like, I just have to spend more orbs.
That's another problem. Like, a lot of players just have OCD. It's not like a detriment or anything, but seeing the new status page where there's an obvious blank space where the echo skill goes, that's going to get irritating to a lot of people because they're going to want to fill that space in. And the only way to do that is by spending money for echo skills. So
I am one of those people. I'm one of those people. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah, it's gonna really piss people off. And the more they look at it too, because they're playing like every day you log in, you do your dailies, you're gonna see that. So over time, it's just gonna grate on you to the point where you're just gonna eventually give in and get some echo skills eventually.
Right.
Yeah. So
one other aspect I think people haven't talked about yet is like the actual banner, like how the banners are put together now, right? Because when you think about it for the new heroes banner, up to this point, we've gotten kind of like into a weird place where you're like, hey, we have a rearmed hero, we have an ascended hero, then we have a demote, and then like something else. So now does that mean that every banner we're gonna get now has like an ascended, a rearmed, and a like one of these new units as well? If that's the case, we're gonna have this situation with Mycen, where Mycen's the only one added to the normal summoning pool, which means that we can't even like get pity broken and get one of these. Like we have to actually summon on purpose to get one of these skills.
Yeah, that's another thing I completely forgot. It's the Echoes banner where Echoes doesn't mean the game Echoes, it means Echoes the skills.
So yeah, I saw that somewhere and I was like, wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, there's one Echo unit on the whole banner, and it's Mycen, and then it's Peony and Triandra, and then Sonya again. I mean, no knocks on Sonya. We all love Sonya. She's pretty hot.
She looks really good. Man, that art, oh my god.
Suzuki Rika is just like a goddess when it comes to drawing.
Yes.
However, Sonya is another repeat character, so they could have definitely filled that space in with something new and different. Okay, so before we move on from Echo skills, I just want to ask, like, what kind of possible future Echo skills are you looking forward to, and which ones are you not looking forward to?
Okay, I'm gonna start with the ones I'm not looking forward to, because at first I was just thinking about, like, speed. And I was like, man, I don't really want to run into, like, more speed creep. But then Joel pointed something out, and it made me, like, want to throw up. So I'm like, oh, thanks, Joel. Like, don't put this out into the universe. But he's like, what if they put out, like, Hardy Bearing and, like, Pass and, like, Vantage?
Yeah, I was about...
And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, please do not put out Vantage as a... Like, imagine just every unit having Vantage. Like, that would be so annoying to deal with.
I was going to bring up Hardy Bearing and also, like, a lot of the rare skills that we don't really have a passive for. Like, it would be crazy to just get on units. So, like, deflect, imagine, like, deflect melee, deflect missile as echo seals. Like, how crazy would that be? And then also, like, what would be good, too, is, like, the counter meta picks. So, like, Kanto Control as an echo skill, so you can open up your C skill again and, like, run C skills. Like, Guidance 4, Soaring Guidance, so you can run those and then still have, like, a C skill to raise DPS, like, I don't know. Like, things like that. Pledge, even Pledge is really good still. So, it depends on how they want to release future skills for the Echo slot. I mean, Power Creep, we know they're going to start dropping, like, some crazy stuff. But how far are they actually going to go? That's kind of what I'm looking forward to seeing, and also not looking forward to at the same time.
Right. That's what I'm scared of, like, honestly. Like, I'm scared that, like, they're going to have a bad financial, like, period, and they're going to be like, okay, we're releasing attuned skills, but they're called, like, legendary attuned skills, and now everybody can use them, and it's like Swift Sparrow 3, you know what I mean? And like, okay, God. I have to have that. You know what I mean? Like, I have to have that now. Like, oh God. That's what I'm really afraid of.
Yeah, that would suck. Oh, why'd you have to go there? Legendary attuned heroes? Come on.
Me and Joel and, like, DTM have been just, like, talking about this, and I've been just, like, doom posting in our chat.
Oh my God. Okay, so all right, let's move on from Echo skills. Let's talk about the actual attuned heroes now. So Peony and Triandra, I guess before we talk about, like, their how they work in combat and things like that, their effects, let's just talk about them as characters. What do you feel about them being attuned heroes?
Oh man. Okay, this is gonna be an unpopular opinion because I know everybody loves Peony and like Triandra and all the fairies. I hate fairies. Like I hate hate that entire book.
Yes.
I almost quit playing Fae for a while because I hated that book so much. Oh my god. If it wasn't for Freya, like that book would have just been dead to me.
Okay, thanks for bringing up Freya. Now, to me also, like, book 4 is actually my favorite book, and it's all carried by Freya. I don't care about the fairies. I hate them. They all suck. I want them all to die. They let Freya get killed. It's all their fault. I blame them for Freya. And then in the Tempest trial too, they brought Freya back, and then they're like all hiding behind her. They're like, Freya, go beat the big evil darkness thing for us. And then Freya ended up losing. So I was like, what the hell, man? They brought Freya back
for anything.
just for her to lose. I was so upset about that. I don't know, man. So as far as like character choices, I am not happy at all with Peony and Triandra. I don't like them.
Me either.
I don't like any of the fairies, but like you said, that's probably just an unpopular opinion. Okay, so as units now, Peony and Triandra, what do you think of them for the Attuned Heroes?
I mean, they're pretty good, right? Like, I think it's kind of hard to say they're not good at this point. Like, the thing is, too, is like melee flyers are really strong right now. And so when you have two melee flyers who have unique abilities, right? They have like a unique preference weapons, but they can also dance. So now you have a guidance 4 beacon who can dance, who can debuff, who has these new echo skills, right? Like it's a strong combo. It's a very strong combo.
And on top of that too, they're real, like, just flying melee types are really good for rearmed heroes because they can get guard bearing 4. They can get both of them can get gambit 4 too. They can pick up also like soaring guidance 4, and just like be a fodder beacon for like all of that stuff. And also there's like rock slide dance and firestorm dance now. So in terms of fodder and like what you can do with them for skill duplication, they're just nuts. They're out of control.
Oh yeah,
ridiculous units.
Completely agree. Like flying rearmed, and now these new units are like just stupid. Like if you want to like go into this banner, go pretty hard. And the fact that they share, like Peony and Sonya sharing, is kind of insane too, because you're getting a rearmed and an attuned hero.
If you think about it, this banner has 3 rearmed heroes, and 2 of them are color sharing, and all 3 of them are really good. So it's like if you're summoning on the banner, you really can't lose, honestly.
Yep.
It's just insane.
I pretty much everyone I've watched summon has done pretty well. So
yeah, I managed to get Sonya on tickets, so I'm good. But
ooh, nice.
I would have actually preferred to get Triandra.
Yeah.
Like if I was going for a specific target, I wanted Triandra, but it's all good. Okay, now just final thoughts. I guess we can wrap this up. What do you expect for the future for Attuned Heroes?
Oh man, I think they're gonna take it a little bit calm in the beginning. They're gonna like do some like here's a darting blow 2, maybe Swift Sparrow 2, some like nice little skills that are nice, and I think they're just gonna get to the point where they start ramping it up, right? They're just like, okay, here's like some insane stuff like Vantage or Hardy Bearing or whatever it is, because they're gonna want to sell banners, and that's what I think they're trying to do at this point. They're just trying to sell banners, and they're not sure exactly how to do it, so they're just throwing out different like ideas to see what sticks.
Yeah.
But I'm a little afraid. I'm like, honestly, I'm a bit afraid, and especially because I think adding a skill slot to the game already adds a lot of complexity, right? The game's already very, very, very complex. So just having another thing to read, even though it is like right now very simple, right? Like you don't really have to read Death Blow 2, you kind of know what it does. Yeah. But even so, in the future, it might become more complex. And so I think we're in a very weird spot right now where like we just have to wait and see what happens, because it can go in a lot of different directions.
Yeah, so okay, what I really wanted to know with that question was
sorry.
I mean, good answer though, but what I was like actually asking is like, what other main entry characters would you expect to get the attuned treatment? Yeah.
Okay. I think that they're kind of done with the fairies at this point. So I think that they're gonna move on. I don't know.
You mean Mirabilis isn't getting an ult again?
No, there's no way she's getting an ult. She's like, how long did it take her to get last one? Like it took like 2 years or something afterwards for her to finally get one. It was like Christmas ult. Okay, throw Mirabilis in there. Everyone's mad.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Do you think? Because I'm thinking like what they're gonna do is just like go to like another New Heroes banner, and I think they're gonna go to like Fates maybe. We really haven't got that many. Like we haven't gotten a Corrin banner yet, and they do that every single year. She did win CYL, obviously, but they do it every year. So I'm kind of expecting like either we get a tuned Corrin or we get like a Christmas Corrin. So that's kind of what if I had to make a prediction, that's what I would predict.
Okay, so you think that main like lords are going to be able to become attuned heroes then?
Oh, 100%. 100%. They try to sell it, right? We saw Ascended Celica. We saw Ascended, like, all those. Yeah. They're going to just keep doing that. They need to make the lords over and over again so they can keep making money.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I was a little more hopeful. I was thinking, like, we might see some of the lesser popular characters finally getting a chance to get an alt and also be useful as attuned heroes.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you bring up some good points in terms of their revenue. So I think that probably makes the most sense.
I mean, I would love if they made the secondary characters into attuned heroes. It would make me like them a lot more. Like, give some representation, but they don't do that all that often, right? Like it happens once in a while.
Yeah, weren't we supposed to get like those losers that ended up being winners as well? Like, I think Desai was one of them, and all those characters from Choose Your Legends that went up the most in terms of votes. Mm-hmm. They were supposed to be released at some point, and they didn't.
Yep.
So like, what's going on with them?
Or do you remember like the poll we took where it was like most likely to be like a certain thing, like your favorite thief pair or whatever, and they never did anything with that either?
Oh, I don't even remember that. What was that about?
Yeah, they did a poll and it was like, okay, like who are your favorite thieves? Or like who would you like to see in the thief banner? Or like who would you like to see like in this type of like situation? And they did all the votes and everybody voted and like, oh, everyone's like, oh, we're gonna get like duo Layla and Matthew, and they just nothing came out of it.
So Matthew and Layla were the winners of that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Matthew and Layla won.
Oh, well, I mean, we got Kagero and Orochi with the big baps. Like, no, those were the real winners of the Thief banner.
They looked at the results and they're like, there's not enough here. We need to hand this over to
it's like, Layla and Matthew, we can't hire Kaboon to draw this. Let's throw Kagero in there.
Oh, man. I can't even imagine that. That'd be hella funny.
Yeah, okay, so I think that's a good enough place to wrap. All that conversation did was get me a little more depressed about the game. But,
Dang.
I mean, that's what we're here for. I don't pull any punches. If I am dissatisfied with something, I just say it. I have, like, literally no tolerance for anything that they do anymore. So, Joel, I feel like, picked up where I used to be optimistic about things, but not anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, after 7 years, they've just beaten all of that out of me. So, I don't know. I'm just, like, grumpy old Tacho now, and Joel is the happy optimist now. So,
I'm definitely in that same boat. I've been in a situation where I'm very much like I like to critique things I love. I want to make sure that people know like how I feel, and I'm not going to pull any punches or lie. Like this is just how it is.
Yeah. So with that, I think that's a good enough place to wrap us up here. So, any final thoughts?
I'm just hold on to your seats. Hopefully, IS goes in the right direction. Maybe they make these heroes work with a new book, and there's some kind of really cool game mode. That's what I'm hoping for, but we'll have to wait and see.
Oh god, I hope they don't monetize them somehow. Like put out a new game mode and then your attuned heroes raise your score.
Score like, better.
Yeah, no, please don't.
Oh, man.
Don't do that.
Please, IS.
Yeah, have mercy. Okay, so that's pretty much everything I had to say. So I guess we can call it there. Definitely check out Oblivion's channel if you haven't already. I'm sure most of you who watch my channel have, but just in case, there's going to be a link to his channel in the description of the video, as well as at the end of this video as a card that you can click on. So that's going to wrap us up for this one. This is your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, fellas. I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.
Bye, everybody.